Hello and welcome to the program Parliament This Week. I am John Yaku. In this edition, we bring you the highlights of the inauguration of the 9th Assembly and reports from across the nation on the inauguration of state assemblies. Don't go away. We begin with the Senate, where Ignatius Nkwo reports that former Senate leader Ahmed Lawan emerged the Senate President of the 9th National Assembly at its inauguration. Senator Ovio Omo-Agege also emerged Deputy Senate President.
Entrance into the lobby of the National Assembly was not business as usual, with the presence of combined security officials higher in number than usual. The lobby literally turned into a waiting hall for guests and those who accompanied the senators-elect. Inside the Senate chamber, senators-elect, all in high spirit, showed up in a kaleidoscope of colors for the memorable moment. It has become a tradition for management of the National Assembly to invite an array of personalities from different divides. Governors, former ministers, former presiding officers of the National Assembly, and party stalwarts witnessed the event. And then, the moment Nigerians had waited in bated breath, the election of Nigeria's new Senate President. Clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Omolori, called the chamber to order.
Distinguished senators,
the clerk announced that the voting with the secret ballot as provided in the 2015 Senate Standing Order as amended, and there was objection by some senators-elect who argued that there was a court order mandating the use of the 2011 edition of the Senate Standing Order, which provides for open ballot. But the clerk made a clarification.
I have had it. I have not received it. I do not have a reason not to comply with court orders if I receive them.
Senator Yahya Abdullahi from Kebbi State moved the motion for Senator Ahmed Lawan to stand as candidate for the position of the Senate President, while Senator-elect Ishaka Abu from Adamawa State moved for the candidature of Senator Alin Dume. Motions were seconded and senators took to the ballot. Shortly, the election was over, results announced, and the winner declared.
Senator-elect Ahmed Ibrahim Lawal, 79 votes. Senator-elect Muhammad Ali Ndume, 28 votes. Having scored the highest vote of the total number of votes cast, is hereby returned as duly elected President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And then, election of the Deputy President of the Senate. Two candidates contested, Senator Omo-Agege from Delta State and the immediate past Deputy President of the 8th Senate, Ike Ekweremadu. Senator Ovie Omo-Agege emerged Deputy Senate President of the 9th Senate with 68 votes ahead of Senator Ike Ekweremadu, who had 37 votes. The atmosphere in the Senate chamber subsumed into a joyous mood by both the governing and the opposition parties as they congratulated the winners amid cheers. The Senate President and his deputy were sworn in. President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, performed his first assignment, swearing in of the other 105 senators, with 2 pending from Imo State.
Our determination is to evolve a well-resourced Senate with a vision and a great sense of commitment to securing a prosperous future for our great nation.
The result of the votes for the Senate President implies that about 20 members of the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, voted for Senator Ahmed Lawan. Among those sworn in are 66 members of the All Progressives Congress, 44 from the People's Democratic Party, and 1 from the Young Progressives Party. 7 of the 107 senators are women. 66 of them are first-timers, while 43 are returning. Senate adjourned to Thursday, the 13th of June 2019. With this election, Senator Ahmed Lawan has become the 14th President of the Nigerian Senate and the first person to become Senate President from the Northeast. Now there are questions on the lips of Nigerians, and the question is, with the inauguration of the 9th Assembly, will Nigerians witness a robust, stable, and people-oriented assembly? Answers to these questions will unfold in a matter of days to come. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Kenneth Nanim in the House of Representatives reports that Femi Gbajabiamila was elected Speaker of the 9th National Assembly, having pooled 281 votes against Umar Muhammad Bago, who got 76 votes.
The newly elected Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, is representing Surulere 1 Federal Constituency of Lagos State, and he is full of gratitude to his colleagues for electing him. His deputy, Idris Wase, who also was the Deputy House Leader in the 8th Assembly, was elected unopposed. Having been sworn in by the clerk to the National Assembly, Speaker Gbajabiamila pledged to preside over a House of Representatives that will be responsible and responsive towards the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians.
Confronted with a myriad of problems, and it is our responsibility as members of this institution to set aside political, ideological, and other differences that may distract us from the assignment the Nigerian people have sent us here to perform. There's a lot more that unite us than divide us. There is much work to be done, and we must now pull together, roll up our sleeves, settle down, and attend to the people's business.
The Speaker performed his first legislative function by inaugurating other members of the House. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And now to the state assemblies across the country on their inaugurations. We begin with Ogun State, where Anthony Gandonu reports that Olakunle Taiwo Oluomo, representing Ifo 1 state constituency, emerged Speaker of the 9th Ogun State House of Assembly, with Dare Kadiri of Ijebu North 1 state constituency emerging as Deputy Speaker.
I will abide the code of conduct contained in the fifth schedule of the Constitution.
That was the administration of vote of allegiance on the newly inaugurated members of the Ogun State House of Assembly. Other principal officers include Honorable Yusuf Sharif Abiodun as Majority Leader, Bashir Oladujoye as Deputy Majority Leader, Atinuke Bello as Chief Whip, while Shola Adams will serve as Deputy Chief Whip, while Ganiyu Oyedeji as Minority Leader. Jemili Akingbade is the Minority Whip, and Musefiu Olatuju now Deputy Minority Whip. The Speaker and his deputy promised to collaborate with the State Governor to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people while not compromising the welfare of members.
Party leaders that we shall cooperate with our government to bring dividend of democracy to the table of our people. I shall, as the primus inter pares among my colleagues, ensure that their welfare is adequately taken care of.
My promise is not to compromise on any issue that pertains to the welfare of my colleagues.
The Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, who was represented by the Deputy Clerk of the House, assured the people of Ogun State of a robust collaboration between the executive and the legislative arm of government for the overall development of Ogun State.
It is provided in Subsection 1 of Subsection 105 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that the person elected as governor of the state shall have power to issue a proclamation for the holding of the House of Assembly of the state after he has been sworn in.
The governor had earlier dissolved the 8th session of the Ogun State House of Assembly. The Speaker, Kunle Oluomo, and the Deputy Speaker, Dare Kadiri, were elected unopposed by the 26-member House. The Speaker, Kunle Oluomo, represents Ifo 1 state constituency.
In Osun State, a fourth-time member of the House, Timothy Owoye, is now Speaker of the Assembly. The inauguration of the 7th Assembly followed the election of the Speaker by the 26 House members.
These 26 lawmakers for 4 years have enacted several laws aimed at transforming Osun State, and now it is time to take a bow. Speaker of the Assembly, Dr. Najim Salam, says their service to the people of Osun as one with great sacrifice that will not be quickly forgotten in the history of the state. The road, he says, has not been smooth, but with the cooperation enjoyed from the other arms of government, the executive and the judiciary, it was worth it.
4 years, not much, it's just 48 months, not the number of years. but what you use years to do to achieve.
Commendation poured in for the 6th Osun Assembly as many saluted the courage of the leadership for running a rancor-free assembly.
I want to thank the PDP members that are in the House for your unrelenting support for the development of Osun. There was nowhere that the House of Assembly supported any retrenchment at all.
The 6th Osun Assembly was inaugurated on the 2nd day of June 2015, and within the 4-year period, it has passed about 35 bills into law. Out of the outgoing 26 members, 3 are coming back. The coming 7th Assembly has 23 APC lawmakers, and the remaining 3 are from PDP. In Osogbo, Tokpe Alabi, NTA News.
In Ondo State, a total of 45 bills have been passed by the Ondo State House of Assembly. New Speaker of the House, Bamidele Oleyalogun, who said this at the inauguration of the 9th Assembly, promised on behalf of members not to disappoint their constituencies.
Before the constitution and inauguration of the 9th Assembly, a special valedictory session took place where members of the 8th Assembly tabled their achievements, which included the passage of 45 bills that have direct impact on the lives of the people of the state, quality representation of their various constituencies, among others.
Our turbulent time in the 8th Assembly, we were able to pass some bills and reasonable bills. So our advice to the incoming ones, they should take their work very seriously.
You need to work. You need to work. And the best way to kill yourself politically is to allow a disconnect between you and the people that elected you to office.
I greet myself. I did my best. It might not be good enough for some people, but I tried my best.
Thereafter, the 8th Assembly was dissolved after due process, and the 9th Assembly kick-started with the nomination of Bamidele Oleyalogun as Speaker and Ogundeji Roju as Deputy Speaker.
To operate an open-door policy, I shall strive to be a capable, humble presiding officer. I shall be faithful and honest in discharging my duty.
Other members took their oath of allegiance as principal officers were also nominated.
I'm with the majority party, but that does not mean I have put my party at the gate level, because all what I need is to support the government and bring goodies to my people.
It is a starting point, it's a new beginning, and I hope it will be better for we women in general.
Sitting has been adjourned to July 10, 2019 to allow members get prepared for the task ahead. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
Repositioning Ekiti State for political and socio-economic attainment through transformational leadership will be the focus of new Legislative House. Governor Kayode Fayemi gave the admonition at the proclamation of the 6th Ekiti State Legislative House.
As the Constitution of the nation demands, the state governor proclaimed the new assembly, signaling the commencement of the legislative assignments, justifying the confidence people have in the lawmakers through quality legislation and representation, as well as determination for value reorientation that will add value to the state. The governor affirmed are expected as their hallmarks in the journey.
I count on the support of the legislature towards achieving the 5 pillars of this administration. All the arms of government, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary must work together to deliver the dividends of democracy to our people.
To members, bridging the gap between government and the governed will be their focus in the task ahead. At the inauguration, Funmi Afuye emerged Speaker, Hakeem Jamiu elected Deputy Speaker, while other principal officers were also appointed. As confirmed by the Speaker, Funmi Afuye, quality legislation and democratic ethos will be their guide to achieve the mission of restoring the value and the policy trust of the state government. In Ado-Ekiti, Ayode Jogunshakin, NTA News.
The Ebonyi State House of Assembly has also been inaugurated. Chika Okore reports that the Speaker Francis Nwifuru and Deputy Speaker Odefa Obasi Odefa were returned unopposed.
After the state governor David Umahi declared open the 6th Assembly in fulfillment of Section 105, Subsection 3 of the nation's constitution, the decorated Speaker Francis Nwifuru, who appointed other principal officers of the House, noted that he will prioritize social security of Ebonyi people as well as uphold the integrity and dignity of the legislature without compromise.
I want to express my sincere appreciation to my dear colleagues, members of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, that deem it necessary to elect me.
Other members took oath of allegiance to, above all, preserve, protect, and promote the rules and regulations established in their new office, while the leader of the House, Victor Chukwu, performed his first function by moving a motion for adjournment.
I am moving a motion that this Honorable House will be adjourned to another legislative date, as so be this.
Among the three female legislators, Lillian Ezeonu, representing Afikpo North East constituency, said the 6th Assembly will be more robust, effective, and engaging.
We're passing bills that will add value to women, especially female child.
It's going to be a vibrant house. I think we'll give everybody the best.
Although there were excitement and jubilation at the Assembly complex, but the task ahead of the parliamentarians will be to justify the autonomy granted to them by being truly independent to promote good governance in the state. In Abakaliki, Chika Okore, NTA News.
The 9th Legislative Assembly of Lagos State has also been inaugurated, with all returning principal officers emerging unopposed. Jesutin Moses reports that the Speaker Mudashiru Obasa is a 5th-time member of the House.
The inauguration proceedings was presided over by the Clerk of the House, Mr. Aziz Sani, in the presence of the Deputy Governor of Lagos, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, who represented the Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. He charged the 40-member all-APC legislators to collaborate with the executive arm, sharing a common vision and agenda to realize the goal of government for the people.
Progressive partner in this dispensation, we have a joint responsibility to raise the bar and move standard of governance to the next level. This is what our party, the APC, has promised our people, and the basis of the mandate that we all hold on their behalf.
Honorable Moshood Oshun thereafter nominated Honorable Mudashiru Obasa to return as the Speaker, while Tunde Braimo nominated the former Deputy Speaker, Wasiu Esilokun Sani, who were both returned unopposed.
I want to nominate the member-elect for Agege Constituency 1, member-elect Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, to be the Speaker for the 9th Assembly.
Our legislative agendas for the 9th Assembly are to promote and strengthen legislative institutions from the state to local government level, to establish a center for democracy and legislative studies, to review the old laws with a view to bringing them to modern reality, particularly laws that establish agencies, parastatals that are more viable, to rejig our regular legislative consultation, and to ensure prudent fiscal financial commitment through legislative process.
Honorable Sinai Agumbiade was returned as the majority leader, while Lateef Abiru was returned as the chief whip. 29 of the former members were re-elected as members of the 9th Assembly, while 11 are new members. It consists 1 5th-time member, 5 4th-term members, 8 3rd-term members, and 15 2nd-term members. 2 of the 3 female members are returning, while 1 is a new member. In Lagos, Jesutin Moses, NTA News.
In Kano comes a report that the 9th State House of Assembly has elected Abdulaziz Garba Gafasa as Speaker, with Hamisu Ibrahim Chidari as Deputy Speaker.
The plenary commenced with dissolution of the 8th Assembly and proclamation of the 9th Kano State House of Assembly in a letter sent by Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduchi. Thereon, Abdulaziz Garba Gafasa was elected unopposed as Speaker alongside Hamisu Ibrahim Chidari as Deputy, and were immediately administered oath of office and that of allegiance. Subsequently, the remaining members were also sworn in 4 batches by the Director Legal of the House, Ahmad Zaharuddin.
Do solemnly affirm that I will be visible and bear true allegiance.
Shortly after his election, Speaker Abdulaziz Garba Gafasa, in his acceptance speech, promised to work with all the legislators, irrespective of political differences, to move the state to greater heights.
We wish to see this opportunity to assure the government and the good people of Kano State of our determination to enact laws and pass resolutions that will bring about meaningful social and economic development and secure lives and property.
Some of the legislators pledged to work tirelessly towards bringing dividends of democracy to their various constituencies through the institution of the legislature. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu Shira, NTA News.
Delta 7th Assembly has re-elected Sheriff Oborowori as Speaker. Austin Ademodu reports that the immediate past Deputy Speaker, Friday Osanebe, was unlucky in the contest.
I write to Chief Sheriff Francis Oborowori, JP.
Do solemnly affirm.
Do solemnly affirm.
That as Speaker of the Delta South Assembly.
That as Speaker of the Delta South Assembly.
I will perform my functions honestly.
I will perform my functions honestly.
That was the oath of office by the Speaker, Sheriff Oborowori, who has been re-elected by members of the 7th Assembly. A first-timer and the member representing Okwane State constituency, Ocho Christopher Ocho, was equally elected by 29 members of the House as the new Deputy Speaker.
Senator Dr.
This came shortly after the proclamation of inauguration of the 7th Assembly by the Governor, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, through a letter read by the Clerk of the House, Lena Ocholo. Thereafter, other members elect, 26 of them from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and 3 from the All Progressives Congress, APC, were sworn in as members of the 7th Assembly by the Speaker, Sheriff Oborowori. He expressed his determination to enthrone a transparent, accountable, and vibrant 7th Assembly.
I'm aware of the challenges that come with this responsibility. I can assure you that I will not take it for granted.
The House has adjourned plenary to Tuesday, 18th of June 2019. I'm Austin Ademodu, NTA News.
In Ibadan comes this report that 32-year-old Adebo Ogundui, representing Iparaba East State Constituency, emerged Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly. Lukman Hassan has details.
The 11th Speaker in the Oyo State House of Assembly, Adebo Ogundui, and other principal members of the House were elected and sworn in the presence of the State Governor, Seyi Makinde, and his deputy. The new Speaker and his deputy pledged to work towards bringing meaningful development to Oyo State by creating a cordial relationship with the executive.
Legislation that we aid the governor's performance and what have you.
Other principal officers of the House also promised a smooth working relation with the state government.
Make laws that will suit the people of Oyo State and suit the people of my constituency.
On his part, Governor Seyi Makinde noted that a bill to create the Oyo State Investment Promotion Bill and Oyo State Financial Crimes Commission Bill would soon be sent to the State House of Assembly.
I believe this will mark the beginning of a new type of synergy. The turning point for us in Oyo State. And I'm not surprised because Oyo is supposed to set the pace.
The new Speaker, Honorable Adebo Ogundui, is a 32-year-old entrepreneur that was elected to the House after the demise of Honorable Michael Adeyemo. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
In Ilori, Kende Omolosho reports that 34-year-old Danladi Salihu Yakubu, representing Elisha Gwanara constituency, has been sworn in as Speaker of the 9th Kwara State House of Assembly, with Adetiba Olarinwaju, representing Oke Ero State constituency, as Deputy Speaker.
Clerk of the Kwara State House of Assembly, Alimat Perogi, while inaugurating the 9th Assembly,
read a letter convening the assembly from the Kwara State Governor Alhaji Abdurrahman Abdulrazak. This was followed by the nomination and confirmation of post of Speaker and Deputy Speaker, where Honorable Danladi Saliu Yakubu emerged as Speaker and Adetiba Olariwaju as Deputy Speaker. While promising to enhance the independence of the legislature, Honorable Danladi Yakubu said the legislature will maintain a robust relationship with the executive.
It is my wish and hope that we utilize the new opportunity offered us by foreigners to recover our state from the challenges of social, economic, political, and infrastructural partner.
Other principal officers are Magaji Abubakar Olaoyin, House Leader, Bello Olariwaju, Deputy Leader, Musa Yusuf Atoyebi, Chief Whip, while Aliu Jimo Amuda is the Deputy Chief Whip. The House has adjourned sitting till Tuesday next week.
The election of Danladi Saliu Yakubu as Speaker House of Assembly, the House is set to hit the ground running by legislating on issues that will bring about socio-economic development of the state. From the Kwara State House of Assembly, Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
That's it on the program. Thank you for watching. I am John Yaku. Senate has considered and approved the medium-term expenditure framework submitted to it by President Muhammadu Buhari, just as it has considered the review of Oil Production Sharing Act. And from the state assemblies, we have a report of impeachment of Bayelsa State Speaker and Majors taken by the Kano State House of Assembly to review the State and Local Government Joint Revenue Committee. This and many more will be coming your way on the program Parliament This Week. I am John Yaku. The 2020-2022 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and the Fiscal Strategy Paper approved by the Senate is positioned to enhance economic growth and ensure inclusiveness, promote economic diversification, and ensure sustainable budget deficit level. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the Senate approved 10.7 trillion naira for the 2020 budget as recommended by the National Assembly Joint Committee on Finance and National Planning.
On Thursday, 26th of September 2019, the National Assembly considered the request of President Muhammadu Buhari for the approval of the 2020 to 2022 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy Paper. That same day, the request was referred to the Senate Committee on Finance and National Planning for scrutiny. 8 days after, the committees conclude their assignment and the Chairman Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adeola, presents the report.
In view of concerted effort by NNPC and security agency to combat the menace of oil theft, vandalization, the 2.18 million per barrel will be realizable.
The committee recommended 2.18 million barrels of oil production per day, adoption of $57 per barrel of crude oil, and retained 305 naira exchange rate. It also recommended that the revenue target of the Nigerian Customs Service of 942.6 billion naira for 2020 be increased to 1.5 trillion so as to reduce borrowing. Proposed budget deficit of 1.7 trillion naira was reduced to 1.5 trillion, while total capital available to ministries, departments and agencies was increased from 1.01 trillion to 1.367 trillion. There were contributions from senators.
When we go in there, make sure that we harvest all the revenue that we are supposed to harvest, block all the leakages, we have more money.
In our effort to raise funds to keep the country going, we should remember that there are some people that need to be encouraged for them to stand on their own.
There must be prudence, there must be economy in the way and manner we do procurement.
The Senate has mandated its Committee on Works to ensure adequate funding for the Bodo-Boni Road in the 2020 budget. Senator Betta Piafi raised the motion on the matter of urgent public importance.
And also mandate security agencies to ensure there is adequate security presence on the Port Harcourt-Bonny waterways.
While Senator Danladi Sankara drew the attention of the Senate on the need for government to set up vocational training centers to provide beggars with alternative means of livelihood, thereby discouraging them from street begging.
Call on the federal government to formulate policy that will integrate Al-Majri into the educational system.
Chairman Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Adedayo Adeyeye, briefed Senate correspondents on the 2020 appropriation bill.
We can see that things are changing. Can't you see that? The budget will be presented by next week, and hopefully we shall pass it by December. At least on the part of the Senate, I can say that we shall pass it by December by the grace of God.
The National Assembly has repeatedly assured Nigerians that it will pass the 2020 budget before the end of 2019. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
October 8 presents the 2020 appropriation bill at the joint session of the National Assembly. This followed the approval of a presidential communication to that effect at the plenary of the House of Representatives. Lami Ali reports.
The President's communication requesting the House to approve presentation of the 2020 budget before a joint session of the National Assembly was read by the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, after which the House voted its approval.
May I crave the kind indulgence of the House of Representatives to grant me the slot of 1400 hours on Tuesday, 8th October 2019, to formally present the 2020 appropriation bill Those in support of the motion, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it.
House members also approved recommendations of the National Assembly Joint Committees on Finance and Appropriation on the Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy Paper for 2020 to 2022. The 16-point approvals include an increase of federal government's expenditure for 2020 from 10.002 trillion to 10.794 trillion naira, oil production output of 2.18 million barrels per day, $57 per barrel as crude oil benchmark, and an exchange rate of 305 naira to a dollar. The lawmakers commended the Nigeria Customs Service for exceeding its targeted revenue for 2019 as at September, despite global economic challenges and closure of Nigerian borders.
Customs collection is 408.17 billion, or 100.5% of the projection as of June 2019.
In the meantime, the House, as the Committee of the Whole, considered and approved the legislative agenda for the 9th House of Representatives.
The Speaker, in his inaugural address, was very clear about the mission of this House. It was very clear that we're not only going to have a sense of mission, but also a sense of nation.
It has to do with what will make us have an improved House, guide us in the conduct of what we are supposed to be pursuing for this purpose of giving out the best to the country.
In the course of plenary, Representative Haruna Dederi raised an observation on the non-formation of a quorum, and this elicited response and clarifications.
When members come into the chambers and they are physically seated, irrespective of whether they signed the register or not, when they are physically seated and Mr. Speaker in chair believes that we have formed quorum, members also believed along with the Speaker that quorum is established. So at the commencement of sitting, then we are firing on like that, quorum is formed. The only way you can ascertain whether we do not form quorum is to bring the register and cross-check if we form quorum. Members have gone for committees work, members have gone for investigative hearing and otherwise. And when you call them for any voting, Mr. Speaker, they will immediately come here and conform with the quorum that is registered in the registry books that we have over there.
What it does is it encourages members to come to sitting. It doesn't even look good if you are considering very important matters and there are only 20 members on the floor of the House.
Other matters approved as plenary include a motion on the need for active participation of parliaments in anniversary celebration of Nigeria's independence, while 3 bills sponsored by House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, one of which seeks to prohibit and criminalize estimated billing by electricity distribution companies and to ensure installation of prepaid meters, were adopted. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Attempts by both private members and government-sponsored bills in the past to review the deep offshore and inland basin production sharing contracts proved abortive, resulting in Nigeria losing 7 trillion naira. And now another attempt by the 9th Assembly, as it has resolved to bring this long overdue review to fruition and increase Nigeria's revenue by 360 billion naira annually. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo again reports.
Back from the 59th Independence Anniversary celebration, senators back to the chamber for the first plenary of the week. The first motion on the order paper was the call for the urgent need to block sources of revenue leakages.
The ayes have it.
Timely as it is, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah and 30 other senators were particular about the huge sums of money Nigeria loses from the deep offshore and inland sharing operation contract. The contract, which came into force in 2004, is long overdue for review.
It is adjusted to the extent that the PIC shall be economically beneficial to the federal government of Nigeria in accordance with the provisions of the Act.
If the federal government will be losing billions of dollars, you can imagine what the communities too are losing or are missing.
The aspect of vandalizing our critical assets will also drop significantly.
And contractually, the oil company knows that they are indebted to Nigeria.
It's for us to rise up to the occasion and save this country by getting the relevant revenue and by doing the work that we are supposed to do.
The bill that needs to be amended is coming up for consideration for second reading, and I believe that what we need to do is to give it the most expeditious consideration ever.
The issue of illegal mining in Nigeria once again came up on the floor of the Senate. Senator Sahabi Yawu's motion called on the federal government to check the activities of illegal miners, clean up areas affected and rehabilitate victims of these illegalities and for states.
Call on the federal government to further clean up the affected areas of the lead poisoning in Zamfara state and the other states that were affected.
One of the most disturbing situations with regard to illegal miners is why you find foreigners in the very heart of our land.
And ensure that we are able to adjust our fiscal regime, our fiscal federalism, in such a way that states will be able to have interest in some of these things in well-defined areas under our concurrent list.
Mr. President, the bulk of the revenue that is supposed to come from this sector is in the hands of few illegal miners.
The legislators have implored security agencies to intensify surveillance and adequately secure lives and property along the Abuja-Lokoja road. Senator Dino Melaye, who moved the motion, described the incidents of kidnapping and killings along that road as increasingly disturbing.
On the 24th again, Mr. President, last week, this gang of armed robbers came there and killed 8 Nigerians, including one assistant superintendent of police who was also commuting on that road.
This might be commuters going from and their relations, and they may not even know what may have happened.
They telephone to demand for ransom. And it's not difficult to trace these people using technology.
These security agencies will do something, and maybe we will be a little bit radical. We need to give the security agencies some more funds, but insist on accountability.
5 bills were passed for first reading. This includes 2 educational institution establishment bills, the Food Security Bill and the Communication Tax Bill. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
It was a historic day at the House of Representatives as the House, in line with its standing rule, inaugurated standing and special committees to facilitate the work of legislation for the 9th Assembly. Lami Ali reports that the event was witnessed by former presiding and principal officers, former clerks, and other invited guests from government organizations.
Standing committees are seen as the engine room of the legislature because it is at the committee level that policy proposals, recommendations and actions are considered for subsequent adoption by Parliament. The Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, while inaugurating the committees, further stressed their essence to the polity and therefore urged stakeholders to extend required cooperation.
In furtherance of our shared objectives of national development, peace, progress, and prosperity for all. This is a time that calls for determined efforts to achieve substantive reform and ensure that our country can overcome its challenges and take advantage of the opportunities that abound for economic advancement and social development. I trust that as you recognize these realities, your efforts will reflect this recognition and be motivated by it.
A former Speaker of the House, Gali Umar Abba, used the occasion to remind the legislators of their responsibilities, especially at this moment of the nation's history.
Many existing laws have either been amended or even repealed, but still the courts are agitated with them. And it is your responsibility to look at these at our laws and with a view to doing this sort of work.
The events featured paper presentations on the significance of the committees to legislative work.
This 9th legislature
should not confront anybody. You can get whatever you want through diplomacy. You can get it through give and take. You can get it through mutuality of understanding and exchange of ideas. There is no need for confrontation.
Critical to the life of a parliament are the documentation, preservation, and dissemination of committee reports. Preservation of these reports is the institutional memory of the parliament.
The committees inaugurated, 109 in number, include 4 special committees. Each committee consists of either 40 or 30 members and is vested with the responsibility of oversighting ministries, departments, and agencies of government for checks and balances. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Now to stories from across the state houses of assembly. We begin with Oyo, where the state government has been urged to take urgent steps in preventing flood in parts of the state. Deputy Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly, Muhammad Fadeyi, made the call in a matter of urgent public importance brought before the House during plenary. Lukman Hassan has details.
Narrating the ordeal of people in his constituency, the Deputy Speaker noted that flood ravaged some areas such as Onara, Amuloko, and Molete in Ogbomoso south of the state.
Sometimes, roughly about 2 months ago or thereabout, a motion was moved on the floor of the House to call the attention of the executive to the issue of some of these overflowing rivers within our various constituencies.
I received so many calls, even this morning, on this very issue under discussion. It beholds on us as a House.
The House also passed the Oyo State Investment Promotion Agency Bill 2019 for the 3rd reading. Sponsor of the bill, Francis Adetunji, explained that the bill is a pointer to the future development of Oyo State.
There will be more jobs, there will be more money into the circulations, and everything will go smoothly.
That's 3 bills passed their first reading on the floor of the House. Among the bills that passed first reading is the Oyo State Legislature Financial Management Bill 2019. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
And in Bayelsa State comes a report that the House of Assembly has impeached his Speaker, Tonye Isena, who has been under pressure to resign. The impeachment process, presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Ingobere Abraham, cited gross misconduct and dereliction of duty as grounds for the impeachment.
The impeachment process was presided over by the Deputy Speaker of the House, Abraham Ngobere. Member representing Sagbama constituency to Bernard Kenevai moved a motion under urgent public importance, accusing the former Speaker, Tonye Isena, of gross misconduct and dereliction of duty, which is said is an impeachable offense. The motion was seconded by Naomi Benjamin Ogoli and was unanimously adopted by members present in the House.
Considered as an urgent public importance to be given fair hearing. Those in support of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against the ayes have it.
The new Speaker and former leader of the House, Mondo Okoro, appreciated members for deeming him fit for the delegation, promising to make consultation the hallmark of his administration.
We are meant to debate, we are meant to argue, and that was what really happened. We were 18 honorable members that have elected me, so arguments and disagreements were part of the normal process.
Obolo's emergence makes him the 2nd Speaker in the 6th Assembly. Earlier to the impeachment, the former Speaker was allegedly set to resign, but he suddenly adjourned the sitting synodai. There was pandemonium in the premises as sporadic gunshots were heard. Members and staff scampered for safety.
And in Kano State comes a report that the State House of Assembly has advocated the review of the State and Local Government Joint Revenue Committee to enhance tax collection and check multiple taxation. This is part of recommendations of an ad hoc committee set up to investigate allegations of alleged multiple taxation reported by an organization. Samira Shira has this and other proceedings at the House.
Presenting findings of the committee, Deputy Speaker Hamisu Ibrahim Chidari said the contention emanated from charges collected on ground and tenements rates, infrastructural maintenance levy, property tax when charged on a single property. Similarly, apart from taxes collected from IPMAN by federal government under the Taxes and Levies Decree number 21 of 1998, the combined state and local government are equally collecting 19 different taxes and charges on a single property. The committee noted that as a result of this anomaly, some of the business communities were charged to court for inability to pay the charges due on them.
The activation of this committee will provide an avenue for the development of a single but all-encompassing notice of assessment for all taxes, charges, levies, and rates, which will address the issue of the taxpayers' perception of multiple taxation by different tax authorities.
Similarly, the committee recommended that the House should call on the state government to immediately remit revenue collected on behalf of local governments and ensure payment directly into local government accounts on a monthly basis, including outstanding ones, and ensure sustainability henceforth.
There is a very serious advantage attached to this monthly release, because we all believe the internal revenue generation is one of the fundamental factors that determine what the local government is to be given in a statutory allocation. So the more a proper leads account of the internal of the local government account, and the more that advantage is given to the local government. So I strongly support this recommendation that even if the MOU is not signed in 1 month, let it be changed to 1 month if it could be possible. Let it be changed to 1 month so that every month the local government will have an advantage of raising that the internal revenue generation.
In another development, the Kano State Appropriation Amendment Bill 2019 has been passed.
In the issue of growth in the budget, to still respect capital expenditure carrying the majority of the country. That is 2%, the current having 20%. In terms of global practice, this is very key for the budget to really reflect what largely the people instead of the expenditure that is actually when you have a capital expenditure outweighing the current, that's a very low rate.
Putting into consideration the proposed change in the structure of NPS, if this step is not taken now, sooner or later we're going to have the Executive Council constituted, and the Council may come with new departments or ministries, which without this type of arrangement, the newly created arms of the Executive Council may be idle up to probably the end of the current financial year.
In the Committee of the Whole, the House has deliberated on the Kano State Appropriation Amendment Law 2019-14-41 AH from clause 011 to 0000, from 011 000 to 0553 110000. Accordingly, the House approved internal movements of 23,182,532,498 within the 2019 revised budget of 219,976,010 naira. Is this what we deliberated? Thank you.
On motions, the House has passed 2 calling on the state government to reconstruct an 18-kilometer road from Doka to Riruwai and a bridge from Ngwarmalame to Taraku, sponsored by member representing Dogwa constituency, Salisu Ibrahim Muhammad.
I felt compelled to do that
going by the degenerated situation of Doga Railway Road, as well as a link bridge between Ungwer Malamai and Maraku. The road is in a very deplorable state, while the bridge, we contributed at different levels: State Assembly member, House of Reps member, the local government council. We have contributed to effect repairs on the bridge at Ungwer Malamai, but to no avail, because the water current has overpowered has destroyed the repairs we did.
In the same vein, the House has adopted a motion sponsored by Isiaku Ali Denja, calling on the state government to come to the aid of communities in Gezau local government by reconstructing a bridge that is about to collapse, which is located on a route that connects them to different parts of the state. In another development, the House is considering amending the Kano State Security Trust Fund law, which was enacted in 2013 and assented by the governor, but yet to be implemented. This came to light when Speaker Abdulaziz Garba Gafasa received a delegation of National Policing Program. Speaker Gafasa said the amendment is to enable civil society organizations make meaningful contributions to meet global development on security policies.
5-6 years, there's never been anything to do with Kano State Security Trust Fund. And our major concerns is considering a lot of challenges around security in the country, especially considering Kano, where a lot of things is happening, and it's not only here in Kano. Other states of the Northwest are also facing a lot of security challenges. And this was an initiative which started about 10-15 years back when some states started appreciating the security challenges in the country, and they started an effort of creating another additional platform where it's going to complement the effort and the mandate of the government.
Operation of this trust fund, I'm sure people will take the fund into their hand, because, as you say, 90 to 80% will be, the leadership will be from the private sectors or the public, and 30% that will be from the government side. And I'm sure, people do fight on many things, but the one you trust into their hands, they do better than the one you are commanding them to do.
The Water Resources Engineering and Construction Agency, RECA, also took their turn at the state legislature, where they intimated the State Assembly on possible areas of synergy to eradicate shortage of water supply in the state.
So if people went there on their own, isn't it, to build the houses on the water pipes, so how can we address those problems? But we are doing everything possible with the cooperation of the House of Assembly and the state government, and all the stakeholders. Hands are on deck to solve this problem.
The House Committee on Works and Transport, chaired by Yunus Haruna Kayu, also paid a visit to the Kano State Transport Agency and Kano Road Maintenance Agency to come up with possible areas of collaboration in the interest of the electorates. From Kano, Samira Hamisu Shira.
A lifetime imprisonment awaits anybody found guilty of rape in Ekiti State. This follows the legislative work on the Act to repeal the Ekiti State Gender-Based Violence Law 2011 and the enactment of the Ekiti State Gender-Based Violence Prohibition Bill 2019 at the House plenary. Ayodeji Ogushaki has details.
The bill considered at the second reading at the plenary include a bill to repeal Ekiti State College of Earth Sciences and Technology Law 2010 and reenact Ekiti State College of Earth Sciences and Technology Bill 2019, a bill for an act to repeal Ekiti State Environmental Earth and Sanitation Law 2014 and reenact Ekiti State Environmental Earth and Sanitation Bill 2019, a bill for an act to repeal the State Gender-Based Violence Prohibition Law 2011 and reenact Ekiti State Gender-Based Violence Prohibition Bill 2019, as well as Ekiti State Transition Bill 2019. Members debated on the importance of the bill as they will affect the state positively. Among the bills that attracted attention was the executive bill for an act to repeal the Ekiti State Gender-Based Violence Prohibition Law 2011 and to be reenacted with a proposed life imprisonment for anyone found guilty of rape in the state. The lawmakers were of the view that the existing law is lenient by nature, which did not give room for stringent punitive measure for violators.
In place to protect you men.
For you to have your beautiful daughter girl of 2, 3, 4, 5 being violated by a man of 25, 30, 40, 50, which is the trend now.
People are adapting and making it more proactive enactment to make it something that people ask to adhere with.
Another bill aimed at catering for the current environmental challenges in the state was also subjected to the second reading, while another bill relating to education, science and technology was also debated upon.
College of Health Sciences and Technology in the state have been having issues, particularly in some areas where the previous law did not capture or did not foresaw when the bill was enacted.
And I think this is one of the areas that Mr. Governor now said that college must be putting into proper perfection.
With the second reading, the various bills were committed to the appropriate committees for further legislative work. Also at the plenary, Ekiti State Transition Bill 2019 aimed at enhancing smooth taking over from one government to other in the state was also debated upon and committed to Committee on Governance Office and Committee on Judiciary. From Ekiti State House of Assembly, Ayode Jogunshaki, NTA News.
On that report, we end this week's review. Thank you for watching.